You saw a gap in the spirits market here in South Africa.
Sure.
Vodka, to be specific.
Sure.
Tell us about that.
Look, I mean, vodka was a fairly new, spirit in South Africa that was actually consumed. You know what I'm saying? Quite a lot of young individuals didn't know exactly what to drink, or just didn't know the choice of drink that actually they wanted. And I just happened to be those individuals that just didn't know what to drink. And so what happened is that obviously as you would grow, you'd obviously hang around with friends, and you guys would talk, you'd share ideas amongst each other. But obviously an idea came about where I just stopped saying, I just want to consume someone else's product. I said, hey, just hold up. Maybe I could just come around and actually come up with my own vodka product. And obviously from there onwards, you start doing research, you start experimenting with other products, but eventually you also do research to find out who can actually make the vodka distinctively the way you want it.
How much did you start with?
I know as an entrepreneur, we always say you need capital, you need quite a lot of money. To be quite honest, all I had in my pocket was just 5,000 Rand. 5,000 Rand, what I just started with was just literally a bottle that was not labeled, because obviously at that time I didn't have a name, I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I obviously had an idea of what I wanted to taste like. And obviously I had friends around me, so I knew that definitely they'll probably like the taste. So I had to try it, amongst my friends and just see if ever they liked it. But initially the capital invested was just 5,000 Rand.
5,000 Rand. Wow. So no excuse to any entrepreneur who says that you need a whole lot of money to start. I mean, before we get to the tasting, because I think I should be the verdict for this, if this product, it gets the stamp of approval. Sure. I mean, Mpho, 5,000 Rand you started with in 2016.
Right.
How has sales been so far?
Sales have been good. Okay, sales have been good. I mean, look, when we initially started, we didn't have a name, we didn't know how to go about it, how to sell it. But obviously, as an entrepreneur, you need to do your homework, you need to do research. And with that being said, that meant that we actually had to, invest quite a lot of time in, getting to know the industry, getting to know how it works, how it operates. And from there onwards, I suppose we then started, building up onto the brand, making sure that it's got a name, the packaging is very appealing, the taste is very smooth. The products that you're actually using for your product are very, very, very important, because that will actually, bring out the best in the product that which you're obviously selling into the market.
And then, I mean, all these processes that you're describing are quite costly. And the vodka market, in as much as you did see a gap, it is a bit proliferated. You've got the Smirnoffs and the Cirocs and the Skies. Gosh, the list goes on. But then how did you manage to do all of that and still, price competitively? Perhaps give me your pricing point and tell me how you're managing to contain costs.
I mean, we're currently retailing for 150 Rand. 155 Rand. So I would say it's very reasonable, with the quality that we're actually providing, our clients, or our customers. It's very reasonable. I mean, how we were actually able to maintain that was obviously just making sure that we kept on, knocking on the doors of mainly independent-owned bottle stores. And obviously what would actually follow from there would be, your promotions, your in-store promotion, where you'd actually, present your product when, customers are walking into the bottle store. They obviously would know what they want to buy, but the moment they see you, they get curious, what are you doing there? What does this guy have? And the moment they actually taste, that instant moment, they actually change their mind about, buying that which they wanted to come and buy at that moment.
For sure. I mean, Mpho, in terms of distilling, do you guys do it yourselves?
At the moment, we obviously own the rights of the ingredients, or rather the recipe of how to go about doing it. It's very costly to actually, build a plant and actually run it on a day-to-day basis. So at the moment, what we've done, we've obviously signed, a contract where we're obviously getting, someone to actually, distill it for us.
So someone is distilling it for you. What, a black business, a small player or a larger player?
It's a, you could say fairly medium player. They're not that big, they're also not that very small.
But how many bottles did you say that you guys sell, like on average a year?
So look, when we started, I mean in 2016, I mean I was literally selling, just distributing distributing to your domestic bottle stores, your taverns in Soweto. I was mainly just doing about 10 cases, and now, I mean, on average, month on month, we're actually pushing just way over about 10 pallets.
And as we turn to some of the varieties here, I don't know if you can just show us there's the red, there's the white, and the yellow bottle. I mean, what's the significance of that?
Sure. So the yellow one that you're seeing over there, it's the vanilla.
Oh, so it's flavored vodka.
It's flavored vodka. So if he had to open it for you, Bafana, and you had to smell it, you'd actually, smell.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, sure.
So come through, okay. And why is this a trend in the spirits market, this vanilla flavored spirits? Because I'm seeing a lot of people doing it.
Sure. Look, not everyone obviously has a palate that can obviously, take on the, the normal spirit that is obviously, not flavored. So you also have to cater for, ladies. There are some gents as well that just don't like the harshness, obviously, of the original one. You know what I'm saying? So we had to obviously just do our due diligence, obviously making research, finding out what people would like to drink in terms of flavors. What are the trending flavors out there? Sure. And we actually came to saying, you know what, vanilla would actually be a one of the products that we're obviously launching out. And strawberry as well, because it's got obviously that kick of being very sweet. So the red one is strawberry, and the white would be the white one would be the original. So what mixture have you made there for us? I mean, we're going to get that from him now, but I just wanted to find out from you specifically, Mpho. I mean, right now we've got a spirits market here in South Africa that is really got its eye on gin. Like, we look at a lot of these companies, Distills, for instance, and they're saying they're seeing phenomenal growth in gin, which leads me to ask, I mean, how is vodka battle or competing against your other spirits like a gin and even a whiskey? I mean, look, if you're looking at whiskey, you're looking at obviously your brown spirits, right? I mean, whiskey, I would say, if you would look back into your research, you'd actually start realizing that brandy used to actually be the one that was actually leading in terms of brown spirits. But you saw that it was actually growing rapidly because obviously the popularity, the marketing that was actually done, and actually people being educated behind how you'd actually consume it, because people got very confused as to how you'd want to consume your whiskey. But now when you come to your white spirits, which is now your vodka and your gin, that's where now you start seeing that, yes, gin is obviously, starting to gain popularity, but we've seen that, vodka has really held its head, because it's just a simple drink that which you can literally just mix really with anything. For sure, and you have mixed it with anything there. I mean, you've been talking about this phenomenal taste. I really need to find out if it is true. I mean, but as you're bringing over the cocktails there for us to taste, I mean, a parting question. A lot of businesses are feeling quite confident about business in South Africa now that, we've got a new president, we've got political changes that are coming through. How are you feeling about the growth prospects of your business? And are you looking beyond South Africa and looking to perhaps take this, in the rest of the continent? Of course, certainly. I mean, look, the changes that are currently happening in our country are great. For any entrepreneur that actually wants to, go into business or rather venture into business, this is the right time, So for us, really, what we actually looking into doing is to really, have a footprint into where we currently are, which is home-based. So that simply means that we would like to tackle each province, step by step, each region step by step, you know what I'm saying? But our footprint, if you look at it, is quite, spread out. We're currently in Joburg, or in Gauteng rather. We also in Free State, also in the Eastern Cape. So it's quite spread out. So we would like to obviously just introduce our products slowly but surely to the market here first. And then what will happen then is that we will obviously just go out into the sub-Saharan countries, which we've distributed before. And really the response has been really great, Well, Mpho, best of luck on that. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Cheers. Cheers.